This is the Uncanny X-Men Alert adventure board game from Pressman. It was published in 1992, and this is an absolute nostalgic treat to have on the show. Right away, when we're looking at the box art, we've got Wolverine and Cyclops, Nightcrawler and Archangel all just leaping right out at you. It's so brightly colored and vibrant, I can't imagine a kid in the 90s not begging their parents to bring this one home from the store. When we flip it over, we see a close-up picture of the game board itself, as well as a little showcase of the 18 collectible figurines that come along with the game. It's a lift-off top box that features a lovely vacuum-formed organizer that holds all 18 of the collectible figurines in place and has a little stowage area for all the remaining game accoutrements, such as the dice, the hit markers, the character cards, and your little experience movers. Now, when we look at the game itself, we've got two decks of cards, the Training and Luck and the X-Men Alert cards. Then we have our character cards for all 18 available playable mutants. We have some hit markers. We have our battle dice here. They have two sides that are marked with blue X-Men single point hits, one side that's got a yellow Marvel that's a 2-point hit, two blank sides, and one purple side that says Evil Mutant with 1 hit on it. So basically the Evil Mutant is when you take a point of damage, and the Marvel 2 or the Mutant 1 are when you dish out 1 or 2 points of damage, and those can even be modified depending on your particular mutant's special powers. So players will begin the game with a single mutant, and that mutant will come with an attribute card that shows their fighting skill, durability, intelligence, total power, as well as their special abilities down here, each one being very unique. Some characters can fly, which allows them to enter and exit battle at will, which becomes extremely useful in this game. You'll notice these little X markers along the side of the card. These are tied to their durability. So their hit markers here will be placed over them as that character takes damage. And if that character takes hit markers enough to block out their total durability, they're knocked down and they have to go back to headquarters, which is the space off the board where you keep their character card, and they'll need to recover their hit points over the next couple turns. They'll do so by rolling the dice, just as they will to determine the outcome of battle. Now, the 3 battle zones in the center of the board here are where most of the action takes place. So you will place a colored marker for whoever you're going to use as your leader, because as you're moving your leader around the board, the leader can be backed up by other mutants that you add to your roster throughout the game. And so you'll want to keep track of who goes first and who's running the show, because certain leadership abilities can bolster your team's odds. So anyway, you will deploy a leader and any other mutants backing them up to one of these battle zones, or sometimes the battle zone will have a friendly mutant in the middle that you will try to recruit. So that's why you have the fighting skill and durability. That's for when you're battling evil mutants here. And evil mutants simply have 2 stats. They have their strength, which is where this marker goes. So the idea is the more hits you get on them, the more you move your leader around until you get to this little red marker, and then you've captured them. Once you capture them, you get however many experience points they indicate on the card, and move your experience marker around this outside periphery to track your score, hopefully getting to victory before the other players. Now, as you're moving this little marker here, you might land on a Training and Luck spot where you draw one of these cards, and these cards will have either immediate effects or things that you can hold on to play strategically. And I've had them really mess me up too. Like I had one where I had made 2 experience points, landed on Training and Luck, and it said you lose 2 experience points. It sent me right back to start. So you're going to be using your fighting skill and durability when you're rolling against evil mutants to determine how many hits you get and try to take them out by matching up their power. Now, when you're trying to recruit friendly mutants, you'll use the intelligence and total power stats. So the total power is where you're going to place the marker for the mutant that you're going to try to recruit, and intelligence is the skill that you're going to use to try to recruit them, so how many dice you roll, as opposed to your fighting skill. So there is now what's also interesting is this game offers an advanced and a basic mode. I'm explaining you the advanced mode because the basic mode really just takes out the ability to recruit other mutants and removes a few of the more difficult villains. It shortens the game to where your goal is to simply get 6 experience points. So gameplay in that simplified mode, that's really a tutorial, might only take 10-15 minutes. An average game of this should last about 30 to 45 minutes. And I mean, that was with good table talk going on. We were just enjoying ourselves while playing this. And I gotta say, that's the big thing, is this game, it's about 95% luck, 5% strategy. So nobody really felt bad when they were losing, because we were all aware that a lot of it was out of our hands, and it was more so just the fun experience. This feels more like a press your luck style game that's reliant on the dice as opposed to a strategy game. So the only real strategy is deciding if you have the right combination of mutants with the right combination of powers to make quick work of whatever villain is available, or to be able to quickly recruit a new ally, depending on what your intelligence level is and their overall power. So I thought it was a lot of fun. Again, what I like about this is because the random chance is so heavy, nobody really took it too seriously. We were able to have a real casual affair, and then we really enjoyed the art on the alert cards. Like, the board is very sparse art-wise, but the alert cards have this wonderful rogues gallery of Marvel villains. It's not just limited to the ones that we commonly see in the X-Men franchise. I had to actually send some pictures to some of my friends who are even bigger comic book fans than me, just kind of going, wait a minute, is this guy an actual X-Men villain? It was kind of funny. I ran across Dracula, for instance, and one of my buddies told me that he owes Moon Knight money. I thought that was kind of funny. Showed me a meme about it. I had a laugh. The training and luck stuff, it is wild how some of these can be a huge boon, and they can absolutely knock you down. I really enjoyed that balance. I mean, everything is so luck-based. So I guess it's not just the dice. There's also the luck of the cards too, or the luck of the draw. Now, when we look at the manual here, it's black and white, but it's printed on sealed paper, and it's very nicely put together. It's a nice saddle-stitched booklet, very well written, extremely easy to understand. Did a great job explaining the game. The only thing is a lot of the dice mechanics and stuff, they didn't talk about specifically how to clean up your points when you're resolving battle. So we had decided that if you've played some tabletop strategy before, some games require that you clean up damage dealt versus damage received first, and vice versa. In this instance, the game doesn't really explain that, so we decided that everything cleans up at once, because otherwise, if damage received cleaned up, so for instance, let's say I'm attacking a Sentinel and I have 3 more points to gain as Wolverine, and I score those 3 points, but the Sentinel also knocks me for my last health point. Is that a successful attack or not? If everything's cleaned up at the same time and all damage is done at once, then Wolverine both takes out the Sentinel and is knocked down and has to go to headquarters to recover. However, if damage dealt is cleaned up first, then Wolverine has 1 hit point left. He's not knocked down and he has less recovery. If damage received is cleaned up first, then Wolverine's knocked down and has to start all over again. Because if you get knocked down trying to defeat one of these evil mutants and your whole team is depleted, you have to start again from the very beginning the next time that you battle them. So it is important that order of operation is addressed in this game. And since it was a little bit ambiguous, we decided to clean up all at once. Anybody else who's played this, if you have different house rules, I'd be curious to know. But we found that kept the game moving at a nice clip. It made sure that everything turned over at a good rate and everything, because otherwise you were spending a lot of time recovering when we were counting damage received first. So we tried it a couple ways just to see how the game was paced, and I find just cleaning up the damage all at once was great. The figurines are kind of simplistic, and I didn't really like the leadership pads. These pads slide onto their bases, and the clearance is so tight. I was really worried about damaging some of these guys with the narrower ankles and stuff, because they really gripped on there. So eventually what we started doing was we just left the leadership chip out and put it on the portrait of whichever character we were using for a leader in that given battle zone. And I think that worked out just fine. So overall, this is kind of one of those, when it comes to licensed games, you know how some of them, the license seemed more important than the game? I would say that it's 50-50. I would say that they did a really decent job of showcasing more art than I expected. When I first looked at the board, I was disappointed at the lack of comic illustration. However, I appreciated the rich color print of the cards and the nice art on the cards. The nice art on the cards, and the character cards were really nice. The cardboard for both the thinner decks of cards, which these were really thick, snappy, very nice material. These are thick tag board for the character cards. It kind of warped over the years when they were being stored. This did also denote that it came with a special edition comic book, but my version didn't have it. So the kid who had this before probably really loved that one to death, and good for him. Doesn't really affect how the game plays. So wish I had it to show you, but not a big deal. I don't like that the dice required that the owner put stickers on them as opposed to being custom printed. I get that's a cost thing, but these stickers never really age well and eventually kind of look grimy, so a little bit of a turnoff there. But otherwise, the overall quality of the game I found to be excellent. Everything held up nicely. The board has a good weight thickness. It's got taped edges and everything. The print is really clear, really sharp. The colors are very vibrant and have held up over the course of time. So that being said, if you get the opportunity to pick up a copy of X-Men Alert, the adventure game from Pressman, I highly recommend that you do if you enjoy games of chance with a little bit of strategy and a lot of fun pop culture art. And if you enjoy having these reviews with me, I enjoy going through these nostalgic treats with you. Please click the like and subscribe so we can do this again in the future. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.